Hey everybody, welcome to another GG.CO.UK video with me, Daryl Carter. It's time of the week again to thrash out some early thoughts on the Saturday racing. It's currently a bit later in the day today, so I've done a bit of work on the cards at 12 o'clock. And tomorrow's racing on ITV from Haydock and Ascot is one of the best days racing we're going to see. It just really ramps up now right through to Christmas. It's so exciting. I cannot wait to get stuck into them. I've got a feeling that I'm going to be putting the column up a bit later tonight, and there's going to be a couple of more selections on the column. Sometimes that's not always a good sign, but I'm hoping try and narrow the field down. But I am super excited. Tomorrow is a cracker of a day. The first race on ITV is the 150 at Haydock. Just having a quick look now. This is one of the races I haven't done too much work on, but I do know from previous cards about some of these horses, what they have and haven't done, and whether I was willing to take them on or not. Kid Commando now saddles top weight off a mark of 143 in a much more in a highly competitive race. Really much more competitive than the race he won at Ascot. He's a very likeable type, and Anthony Honeyball is absolutely flying at the moment. But I think you've got to take him on here second time up, off this weight, off this mark. I just think you've got to take him on. Shake Him Up Harry looks extremely well handicapped to me off a mark of 130. £3 rise for his very easy victory at Fosslas. He did it in a very good time as well. Keelan Woods does really well for Ben Pauling. He's around 11 to 2 mark. I think he should be favourite really off this mark of 130. First start and handicap debut. Up slightly in trip, 3 furlongs. I don't think that'll be an issue. Bumped into useful horses, Shishkin, Mr. Coffee. That Mr. Coffee's going to be very good, by the way. I'll back him at 100 to 1 for the champion hurdle. I know that's just ridiculous and outrageous, but we'll see what happens there. Yeah, so Shake Him Up Harry's got to be surely well handicapped off this mark of 130. You go back through some of them races, and the horses right in behind are up to marks of 125, 128. It's very hard to see him not winning at some point off this mark. Whether it be today or not, I'm not sure. Araviderci's one I can't have. He did a very slow time at Wetherby last time, beating Warlord. That was just not impressive. He's up £8 for that run, so that's got to be a bit of a negative for him. On the wild side, an interesting one. Unexposed type, Dr. Richard Newland off a mark of 129. Looks really progressive. Won his first 2 starts this term. Like that horse. Fixed Sun. I'm really struggling with this Fixed Sun. He was really poor on his penultimate start at Fakenham. He ran a slower time than the seller on the same card. It was terrible, and he got beat by Fraternal. You could just put a line through that. He travelled really well at Cheltenham. I think a drop back to 2 miles is going to suit him. He did have an excuse for that at Cheltenham, where he dropped out really quickly. He suffered sustained injuries on his left fore and his right hind leg. So something obviously happened there, and he wasn't straight. So second time after Windop, he could have loads more to come off of 136. And Legerian is a horse I am definitely going to be backing in this race. Whether he goes in with another horse, I'm not too sure, but I'm definitely going to be backing him because he's done some really good figures at Chepstow on seasonal return, on ground that would have been quick enough for him. Back on soft ground, back at Haydock, where he was an excellent winner here last year. He beat Flamboyant Joyeux by 4 lengths, okay, and he ran a circuit time 8 seconds faster than Stolen Silver, who won the sprint trial on the same card. This is a slight step up the trip. I'd prefer this to be at 2 miles, but it's not. He's down to a mark of 133. He's only £6 higher than that win here last year. This run would have put him spot on for it. Richard Johnson's back on board. He's a massive 25 to 1 shot, so I've got to take a chance on him. Who else goes in with him? Probably Shake Him Up Harry. I'm not even too sure at the moment. The next race at Haydock is a 225. Again, another massive field, really competitive handicap. I've got this between 3 personally at the moment. Third Wind is a horse I backed first time up. In hindsight, really, he wants soft ground, and he gets that today. I find it very difficult to split him and Relegate. Him and Relegate finished within the nose of each other at the Cheltenham Festival, doing the best. Third Wind did the best of the British. Off the same weights here again. I think he's definitely going to take a step forward from that run, Third Wind. Last time out, John Joe O'Neill Jr. has been booked. Back on soft ground, unexposed at 3 miles. There's lots to like about him. Relegate is very interesting as well. This long home straight at Haydock is definitely going to help. And there's 3 hurdles that they jump in the home straight here, and you not often see horses coming from off the pace. That is definitely going to benefit Relegate. Cheek Pieces first time. Robbie Powers on board, very eye-catching bookie off a mark of 137. But Imperial Alcazar is the one I've been waiting to reappear. So you can see my dilemma in this race. Last season at Leicester, beating Mucklemore by 6.5 lengths. Some form last season with Protectorat, Coconut Splash, House Island, lots and lots of horses. And I just really think that this horse has been wanting 3 miles for so long. and now finally gets it on handicap debut off a mark of 140. I think Imperial Alcazar could be really smart. I do like this horse a lot. The Jam Man is obviously very interesting, but that's my dilemma. I'm between the three at the moment. I've got to try and get it down, and you know what normally happens in these big handicaps, you normally call the wrong one, but I'm hoping I can call it right. If I can't split them, I won't have a bet. I might not have a bet. 3 o'clock, Haydock, Bells Hill, Bristol Demai, Clan Desire, Keeper Hill, and Lost in Translation all go head-to-head for the Betfair Chase. Lost in Translation is just the obvious pick here for everybody, I think. Second time up after the wind up. He goes well, fresh enough, tongue ties on. They're going to have prepped him for this. He won this race last year. There's loads to like about him. 11 to 8. I think it kind of is what it is. I wish there was a bigger field in there, but there's not. Clan de Zobo, I think Paul Nicholls will probably have him spot on for this. He's got a little bit to farm at Bristol Demai though on a few runs last time, including in this race 2 years ago. He's obviously open to improvement. This might be his the height of his career this year, the pinnacle, if you like, for Clan de Zobo. Interesting first time out. He did need it last year. Obviously, as much as they say they're not going to target the King George, it would be fantastic for him to win three King Georges in consecutive runs. So I do think that is going to be at the forefront of their mind. He is going to be well supported. He is a nice horse. Bristol Demai for me is on the downgrade now. If he's going to be at his best this season, it's probably going to be in this race here. But I can't really have Bristol Demai at 5-2. I'd much rather Clan Zobo at 11 to 4. I can't really have a bet in it. I do like Keeper Hill and I do like Bells Hill, the outsiders, but I don't think any horse rated lower than 160 has ever won this race. So I'd probably be put a bit off there. Bells Hill, you just never know what you're going to get with him. He's with new connections now. That could have sparked him up a little bit. You could make a case for Bells Hill more than Keeper Hill. At 50 to 1, you could take a chance without favourite. I don't know. Without favourite Bells Hill, maybe. Look, we'll have a look. We'll have a little deeper look after that. But not real strong opinion. One of the only races I haven't got a strong opinion is the Grade 1 on the day. So, 3:35 at Haydock is the last race from them on TV. I'm going to side with Financial Outcome again, I think. I loved his run last time. He was beaten into 8th, but he travelled all over his rivals, made a real bad mistake at the 5th or 4th last or 5th last. They're just not the stuff out of him. He got back on the bridle again. He made some headway and he just couldn't get home. I think Financial Outcome's got a big race in him. I don't think this trip will be an issue. 3 miles, 4.5 furlongs. It's going to be an absolute slog at Haydock on soft ground. So I think he might be a bet. He might not be a bet. I do like him. He would be the only one I would side with in this contest. Don Poley's obviously very interesting, but you know, we'll see what happens. The 205 at Ascot, Chanel Farmer Chase. How the hell Real Steel is not favourite for this race? I do not know. 2 to 1, yes please, I'll be having that all day. First run for Paul Nicholls. This horse got a fantastic record fresh. Back right-handed, was jumping the last in contention at the Gold Cup. Finished 6th, just didn't stay the trip. Dropped back to 2 miles, 5.5 furlongs. Is right up his street. Soft ground, love soft ground. Rated, 6, 7, 8, 9 pounds higher than Imperial Aura. Of course, Imperial Aura is on the up, but beating Windsor Avenue last time out is nowhere near the finish in 6th, beating 7 lengths in a Gold Cup. So how the hell Real Steel is not favourite for this? I don't know. Can't have Itchy Feet, can't have Black Corton. Real Steel all day for me. Providing Paul's got him spot on. 2 to 1, yes please, I'll take it. Take it straight off your hands, son. Right, 240, Coral Hurdle. I mean, what can you say about this? 3 bloody runners for this race. It doesn't excite people, does it? It doesn't excite me. You got a 6 to 4 Lorena, who needs to bounce back to her best. She could well do over hurdles, but she's been more than disappointing after what she's shown a couple of years ago. Call Me Lord 13 to 8. How you could back Call Me Lord 13 to 8 at that price after what he showed at Aintree last time, I don't know. Song for Someone's the most interesting runner for me. The other two have got big question marks about him. Song for Someone, it goes well fresh, loves Ascot. Of course, was only 11th behind Thomas Darby here on his penultimate start. That's some strong form there. There's nothing wrong with Song for Someone at all. There is like £1 separating the 3 of these, and Song for Someone's 3 to 1. He's got the least amount of questions answered. So I'll probably just talk myself into a bet there. Song for Someone for me at the moment. 3:17 at Ascot. I'm going to side with Cape Land. Magic Saint quickly comes out here. 8 days later, 8 days after that win at Cheltenham last week, well, 8 days ago, and could well win this race. But soft ground for Magic Saint. It's just a no-no. Been beaten 9 lengths, been beaten 25 lengths, been beaten 16 lengths. Not for me, thank you very much, Magic Saint. Even under Brian Carver again. Cape Land is the one for me. Disappointed with him last time. Cheap pieces go on now. He unseated his rider after about the 6th. He wasn't really travelling, wasn't really jumping well under Bridie Frost, to be honest. Harry Cobden's back on board. He won this race last year with a mark of 143. He's up to a mark of 150. This is not the strongest of races. He's got a little bit of race fitness with him now. His biggest danger is his stablemate, who shoulders 11 stone 12, keeps the weights down, and yeah, what's wrong with nothing wrong with Cape Land, I don't think. So I've got a whole list today of runners that I'm really interested in. So that we're gonna have to try and wheel it down. But those are some early thoughts. Check out the GG column tonight at about 5:30. Might be a little bit later, about 6:30, 7 o'clock. I might say, if the lads are okay with me putting up at that time. But check it out later on. Good luck on Saturday. What a day it's gonna be.